Man, here the view going with that no showing up crap again, man. Let me call him and see what his deal is this time, man.
Yo, bro, what's up?
Yo, bro, what's going on, man? We got Chip, man, the creator of the Super Crime Rangers on today, man. Like, what's going on?
Bruh, the Super Crime Rangers, bro, I was just with them, man. Like,
Huh? You was just with him?
yeah, man, I was just with the Super Crime Rangers, man. We was at the football game, it got wild. Then, like, Scooby-Doo showed up, and, like, Shaggy was tripping.
So you just with the Super Crime Rangers and the Scooby in the game?
Yeah, man, the Scooby-Doo and the dog, man, you know, the talking dog, and it was wild. I can't get up now, boy. I'm tired. I ain't gonna make it, man. It was a long night with them. I ain't gonna make it, man.
But you tired, you can't get up, bruh. But I think having better not having, bruh. You tripping, bruh. You gonna get kicked off the baseball team, bruh. I'm telling you, bruh.
And, bro, you know I didn't do none of that, man. I just don't know what happened, man. I'm in the back of the band, man. I'll call you back, bro. I'm tired. Yeah.
Yo, but hey, I hold it down like I always do, man. Sober up, bro. Look, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Hey, welcome back to the hood. And this is Chill on the Green Box with Specks, Thompson, and The View. And once again, my co-host has failed, to come to the show. But I told him we had the creator of the Current Rangers on here, and just couldn't get on the phone. He just seemed too lazy and just couldn't get up. So I don't know what that's about. But hey, it is what it is. But thanks, Alex. Or should I say Chip? Which one you go by?
There was a lot of Alex's growing up, so everybody called me Chipman or Chip because of my last name. So I mean, Chip's fine. That's what most people call me. So yeah, Chip's easier. Alex sounds a little weird. I'll admit, but yeah, it's Chip.
Hey, funny story though. You're the second Alex I interviewed today.
Really? Well, there you go. There you go. So point in case in point. Chip's good.
Yeah, cause like when I was typing the episode segment, and I was like, Alex, didn't I just type that? And I was like, but yeah, man, thanks for coming on, man. For people who don't know who you are, tell them who you are and what you do.
So I'm Chip, and I am one half of the co-creators of Superstoner Chronic Rangers. We are currently being published by Broken Reality Comics, and I make this comic with my best friend and my cousin, and we've been doing it for about 6 years now. And it's been a great time, and it's mostly just pothead stories. So
okay,
that's us in a nutshell, essentially.
Okay. Well, on this show, I got it's 4 segments, different things. I don't know where you're from, but some guests know what I'm talking about. Some guests don't. There's a green electrical box, normally in front of the houses. And you chill on it. So do you have that same box?
So back in middle school, where you reached out and we talked for a second. I saw the chilling on the green box. And I saw the symbol. I'm like, that Transformer? Holy shit! So back in middle school, we did hang on the green box at this a community. It was a community's Transformer. It was a big one, and this was back in middle school. We played a game of Truth or Dare. And got to kiss a girl, that was fun. But it was reminiscent of holy shit, yeah, wow, people did used to chill in the green box. That was really cool. I was like, that's a good name. But yeah. I mean, we're in Pennsylvania, East Coast, right outside Philly. So we're out towards the farmlands though.
Yeah, y'all got them up high on the poles over there.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. They love fucking climbing them poles. Grease them all you want, they'll still fucking climb them. Yeah.
Well, that being said, since you're familiar, like most guests, they either like was told not to be on it, or I guess they're in an environment like you are, or maybe a newer environment they don't have them, so they'll have no idea what the reference.
Well, it is electrical, so I mean there is a hazard. Keep away. My current job is environmental, and I actually check those things sometimes when I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I look and I'm like, yeah. Some of them you don't want to sit on, but the classic ones outside of a community, fuck it, you can sit on it. It's fine. It's good times. It's good times. Yeah.
Yeah. At least it's the summertime when they're hot as hell.
There you go.
But my first segment, another reference that you're probably the only guest out loud will get what I'm talking about. But my first segment is called breaking it down.
Okay.
Because when you chill on the green box, you break things down.
Yeah. Philosophize.
So yeah. So in this segment, I'm gonna break your brain down so people get a good sense of who you are. Just like simple icebreaker questions. I don't came up with.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Fire away.
All right. Do you have any hidden talents?
I learned how to juggle from a clown named Bob when I was a kid, and that's kind of always stuck with me. I pull that out at parties occasionally. Juggle.
So is it just like balls or anything?
It's anything that's hand size. You can do bean bags and stuff like that. But yeah, juggling probably. I also play music. Not a lot of people in the comic community know that. I play bass, but I don't know. Juggling's a little more interesting. Weird.
Yeah. Juggling is interesting. So let's say you're juggling, right? Can I throw this pencil at you and you just get in rhythm and keep going?
Or hit me in the face and I just I'm not that good. But no, it's just a little trick. It also entertains small children. When you got a family party and there's kids running around, you juggle something and they're it's party trick. That's all.
When I went to the elementary school, I don't know, it was all 5 years they did it. I went there my 5th grade year, and that was one of PE things that we had to pass to I guess get an A or whatever in PE. Yeah. We had to learn how to juggle.
Really?
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah. Would you go to clown school? No, can't.
But yeah, we had to learn how to juggle and jump rope, and
damn.
The different techniques you jump roll, twisting,
no shit.
It was crazy.
Yeah, crossing it up. No.
Yeah. But yeah, they had different chart levels. You can level up to the different techniques.
Damn.
None of it I remember to this day. Except with the jump roll, I learned how to braid. So I know how to braid. So which is good. Now I have daughters.
There you go.
Besides that, I can jump rope, I can speed rope because from gym class, but all the different techniques and double dutch, all that stuff. Nope.
Well,
All right. Next question. What was something that you thought was easy until you actually tried it?
I thought it would be easy, and then it ended up being super hard. Is that what you mean?
I guess not as easy as you thought. Maybe
not as easy. Well. Drawing a whole freaking comic book. I always thought that'd be easy. Growing up, always made characters and always, made stories, but never. Many a time I tried to start a comic and I'd get 1 or 2 pages in, and then I would look back and go, "Oh, this looks like shit," and just give up. And I just always thought it'd be easy because you see people just doing it, and I would try it, I'd fail, and then I'd be a few years and I'd see somebody make something and go, "Oh, let me try it again," and then it's oh fuck, it's really hard. And it took until goddamn 2020 when we were all shut down that I just said, I see people on Instagram and everything doing it, and theirs also doesn't look professional grade, but they're fucking pumping them out. I'm like, screw it, just do it. And so that was finally the breaker. But that's probably one of the biggest things in my life that I always thought was easy, ended up being way harder, and it was a vicious cycle until I finally just mustered down to it. But
yeah. Same to me. I drew in school, and once
doodle
I got
on
old,
the sides, picture.
Yeah. I told my fiance about about doing that, and hence how I got to do Legacy to View. But beforehand, I was trying to brush up my techniques, by drawing, and I did the Inktober thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was easy, I can draw fairly well, but the techniques I see other people doing, I was like, wow, I'm really using pencil and a Sharpie, but they using the brushes and a little this and a little that.
Yeah.
And I just seen the whole skill curve. I'm like, man, I was like, okay, well, I can't use all techniques, but I can draw.
Right.
So I thought I can draw combos. I can draw my character. Boom. But then I got hit with, can I draw that same character that many times over and over again the
Different
same way?
angles and different, yeah.
And that's where I got stuck at. I was like, I can't do this book.
And I've now put out I've drawn a few comics now with these Chronic Rangers, and I'm trying to challenge myself with different angles and different spots. Like before it was draw what I can to make it look somewhat decent, and just get through the comics so the story's out there and people can start seeing the characters. Now that I've gotten a little more practice, I've drawn close to 100 pages of these characters. I'm trying to really push the boundaries now and again learn different techniques, but keep it all within the same style. I can totally get that. Awesome.
All right. Now here's the last question for this segment. All right. If you walked in a room with everybody you know, right?
Uh-huh.
Who's that one person you're gonna look for in that crowd or that room, I guess?
First off, my wife is in the other room, but yeah, I mean her, because I like to hang out with her when I'm at places. But after that, it'd be my co-creator, because he's my best friend. The Dom, he's me and him made up Chronic Rangers. So if I can't find her, I'm finding him, and then I'll find her. But yeah, definitely my wife, and she's tall, so she's easy to find.
Yeah, easy spot, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's a question. I don't know. I mean, I guess same thing with me. I guess,
your fiance, or
but it's a vague question. Like if I go by how vague it is, my mom died when I was like 10, so like I'll go look for her.
Everybody is in one room.
Yeah, so it's a big question. So I don't know if they live in person or what. But if I go how vague it is, I'll go there for my mom.
Wow, I kept that 2-dimensional, man. I thought, fucking the 10 people I could think of right now.
Yeah.
But no, that's a hell of, when you put it vaguely, that's a deep one. And mom's a good choice, but I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of living relatives and not really have lost anybody too close. Have lost some friends over the years, but yeah, I'd still have to choose my wife.
But I think I did a lot of clubbing, and I was a DJ as well. But so maybe I don't maybe because I thought that deep, because typically when I did go to a club like that, everybody just kind of just follow each other around more than less. So like, I was thinking my dad, like, if I'm there, everybody know people's going to gravitate towards me anyway. So what would be the people that I wouldn't gravitate to?
Who'd you seek out? Who'd you stay away from?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. That is a breaking it down for sure.
Yep. All right. Next, I'm gonna go to my next segment, which is back issues. Being in comics, you should know who that is. But for people who don't know, back issues are, if you want to know about a character's origin story, you go back to their back issues.
I thought you meant lower.
No, not your back problems. Not your back problems.
I don't think I'm that old yet, but getting those back problems.
So,
but no, yes, the back issues of a character and all that. Yes. Continue.
Yeah, so if you want to know who Spider-Man 2099 is, you go back, in his back issues and find out who Miguel. I can't think of his last name, but who is Miguel?
Spanish.
And Spanish guy. Yeah, you go look at the back issues. Plenty of people are doing that right now because of the movie.
Right.
So in your case, we're gonna go into some questions to find out about your back issues and your origin story.
Okay. All right. Fuck yeah. Nice.
All right. So, where are you from, and what do you call your hood?
Well, I'm from a suburb of Pennsylvania, or suburb of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, out of a little town called West Grove. We had some interesting stories go on in our time. Brushed with gang violence through our towns, but really we were the rose capital of the East Coast, I think. But now we're just fucking I've moved away since, but back when we were kids, It was just, hey, you go down to the train tracks and smoke some weed. I think other people drank. I never drank, but you just hang out by the train tracks and then go back home, go home for dinner, and that was about it. There's nothing really to do in our town.
Okay.
You go 45 minutes east and you're in the city. You go 15 minutes west and you're in the bumfuck country, you know, just farm people. So yeah, our hood was just kind of a mediocre town. Nothing too fancy. Yeah.
Okay. I know you said you played bass earlier. So next question. What was your first encounter with music that got you intrigued with it?
So really it was just riding around with my dad. He'd always have great music on, and he was an early adapter of like Sirius satellite radio. So he'd get like just the not the classic rock, but it was more like the 90s rock and stuff, like shit that he was listening to when he was in his like 20s and stuff. And he'd show me like Red Hot Chili Peppers and some good funk music, Primus a little bit, you know. And I remember telling him real young, I was like, I wanted to play drums. I said, hey, you know, I want to be a drummer. And he was like, your mother will never let you have drums. And everybody needs a bass player. So play bass. And he had actually played bass for like 3 years back in either the late 70s, early 80s, when he was a teen. And so he was like really, like once he like said it out loud, he really wanted me to play bass. And so I got a bass 8th grade, been playing ever since. So it's a little over 10 years. But just, yeah, driving around with him, just jamming to music, just set me on this whole path. I wanted to be a musician for the longest time, you know, simultaneously with the comic stuff. But COVID kind of just killed music for me. As far as live music, playing in bands and stuff. What can you do? But yeah.
So was he right about the bass player thing?
Dude, I was never without a band. If I wanted to be in a band, I was in a band. I was in a rock band, and so I was a freshman in high school and got approached by a senior who heard I played bass and said, hey, I need a bass player. I went, sweet, I'm there. Didn't really know too much at that point, and pretty much learned through that band. After those guys went away to college, I was in a pop punk band with kids in my own grade. We played the Trocadero main stage in Philadelphia. Trocadero, I don't think is open anymore, but that was a pretty big venue. A lot of big acts came through that. So that was my one little claim to fame, was singing and playing, and it was not too good. It was not too good. I wasn't a good singer. A great bass player. I was excellent bass player. Couldn't sing for shit. That was my, but we didn't have a better singer. So it was one of those things. And then went to college and kind of did my own thing. Had this comic series that was mirrored real life and had those characters as a band, kind of like a Presidents of the United States of America type kind of weird parody band. And then I was in this like indie hipster punk band up until COVID, and then that was it. So I mean, from 9th grade to 2020, so 9th grade was 2009, so for 10 years I had a band as long as I wanted to be in one. Yeah, my dad was right.
Okay. I remember you said COVID killed your live band experience.
Yeah.
But in hip hop rap, maybe most popular music, the DJs, they got real popular during COVID, doing live streaming DJing.
And they were just sitting at home, being able to mix and master everything and all the time in the world. Yeah, I could totally get that. Yeah.
So bands didn't have that same effect. Like nobody got in their garage and like just jammed out on live stream.
So I remember early on, people were scratching their heads trying to figure out the best way to do a band practice. Like the first thing I heard was band practice. How can we get everybody to pipe in to Zoom or whatever to practice? And by that point, we were our guitarist wasn't very tech savvy, and we were all kind of just trying to, me and my drummer were still working on our regular jobs. It was just a crazy time, so we ended up not trying this. But hearing our other friends that were in bands, it was to figure out how to jam together. And then apparently they figured out a good app to use, and they started doing streams. And I know a few people did a few streams, but it was just kind of like I'm trying to survive, what were we doing? We were saving up for trying to save money. We were working. My wife was a nurse during COVID, so
Wow.
she was always at threat for exposure. So we didn't want to leave, and it was a whole thing. So there were people doing live music and doing the live streams, but it was just kind of wasn't the same for me, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But so you said you're a DJ. Did that like really? Did you do a few live streams?
I didn't, because by the time COVID I had my second child. So the year before I had my first child.
Okay.
Then so like
So you're just
I really had to
busy as
slow.
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really slowed down DJing wise, and like I went back to DJing right when the doors opened back up with COVID.
Okay.
But like during that time, I really found how old I was because I had DJ a college party.
Okay.
So I was playing the music that
You were jamming to. Yeah.
Well, not I'm jamming to, but the typical hits I would play, and on top of like the newer songs and new artists that I would thought they would like too. But then I was told those are older artists, and they like all these SoundCloud artists and all these TikTok artists. And I was like, what?
It's old ball game, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so they want all these 10-minute artists, you know, that's hot today, going tomorrow. Yeah. And I wasn't on that, so I was like, man. So like I really like this. I really got just I'm not washed up, but like they let some $50 DJ come in there and she knew all the songs and just took my job. But like, it didn't really take my job. It just I just like whatever.
Moved in on the spot, man. That sucks. That's
then for that I just went straight to comics and
okay. Yeah.
Been doing comics. Like people all the time hit me up to my music this, music that. But I'm like, I have made more money on comics than I have music. Not like you said, like you probably got paid in the bands and I got paid DJing, but like I probably recorded a song and it's easier for somebody to give me $5 for comic book versus them going to Apple Music and give me $1 for a single.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, you know, because it's only 99 cents on Apple Music, and that's all they gotta do, and they don't want to do it or buy a mixtape. I got they like When I said, hey, I got a comic book, they're like, for real? How much you selling for? $5? Oh, here's a 20. Just keep change. I'm like, what?
Well, in comic books, you get a printer. You got, you know, they're fairly cheap to get a pack of 100 to sell out. When you're doing merch for a band, you got to buy T-shirts, you got to buy CDs, you got to buy fucking stickers, you got to buy, I know my buddy, I ran merch for a friends group that was pretty big back in like the early 2010s in our area. And I don't know how much they were spending on all this goddamn merch, but they weren't selling that much at each show, like they couldn't have been breaking even. So, or they're probably just breaking even. I don't know, but.
Well, I did merch for artists as well. I did it. They did something to do with Live Nation, so every stop I had to sell the merch.
Yeah, okay.
So if they're business savvy, it's a business write-off.
Then we were no, they were drunk.
Yeah. So that's how you will survive. It's a business write-off.
Okay.
It's just extra stuff. Just in comics, the same way. So like I've learned like I always knew that for some reason. But when I actually did music, I did not. I had a business, but I didn't put everything through the business. So all the money I spent in music, just went drained. But I didn't know I could get tax write-off until I got the comics. I was like, man, how did everybody go on these cons and stuff? Like the money not adding up to me.
Right.
They say you see that as a tax write-off. I'm like, for real? So now I'm like, man, 2019. I'm almost 2020. I'm almost 4 years in the comic book industry. And I'm like, man, I should have been had my business already
I haven't been doing that. I was so everything I was making, I was just putting up for free through Instagram.
Man,
it's the classic drug thing. You get them high off for free, and then they want to come back for more. I was
yeah. See, I did something similar there. I did a teaser comic. It was a 6-page comic. I was like, here. Y'all like this? Oh, cool. And I dropped Indiegogo. Like, okay.
I gave them 42 pages, and then I gave them 15 pages, then another 15 pages, and then like 30 pages of a second book, and then we got this revamp with the publisher. So I was just fucking giving them away for free.
Man.
Well, I mean, like, who the fuck am I? Like I could try to just sell this big ass book, because like a 42-page first issue is a thick book and costs money to fucking make. So I'd have to charge like, you know, $7 for this comic or something like that, just to like make it fair in my head, make it even in my head. I'm like, I can't do that to nobody. I can't have anybody pay that much money for that shit. So I just said I give it for free, and then the next one, if you like that one, you got to pay for the next one.
Yeah. All right, talking about comic books. What was your first comic book or comic related TV show that got you into it?
Oh, I mean, fuck, I was raised. So my dad's a geek. He was shown the way by his older cousin back when he was a kid. His older cousin been collecting comics steady. I mean, he's had boxes at comic shops since the 80s. So, I mean, this man can put my cousin through college with his comic collection twice over, I think. It's ridiculous. So he was raised as a comic geek, and he raised me as such. And so I grew up going to Wizard World in Philly every year. Back when it was fucking cheap, back when you could afford a goddamn ticket. Now it's like $150 for just the entrance. But there was like 2 or 3 years kind of towards the end there where it was starting to get like expensive for regular tickets. So they just like, part of your Christmas gift was that we got the big tickets for Wizard World. And so you get like these convention exclusives, like a zombie. I think we had a zombie Scarlet Witch or something. It was crazy. It was back in like it was in the 2000s, back those days. Mm-hmm. So growing up, going to Comic Cons, obviously seeing X-Men and Spider-Man at the goddamn movie theater as a child, you're like, oh, this is so much for my brain. You go walking out of those movie theaters going, I actually got those powers, man. I can feel it. I'm becoming a mutant, that kind of shit. Imagination runs wild. So for as long as I can remember, I've been making comic book characters and my own version of heroes that I could tell my own stories with. They were very simple back in the day, and they've gotten more complex since. But yeah, I think when I was a baby and they were bathing me in the bathtub, they gave me superhero toys to play with. So, I mean, that's been my religion, essentially. It's goddamn comics.
Well,
so
you answered my next question. I was going to say, when did you find out you're a nerd? Apparently, you got a family of nerds, so you already knew he was a nerd.
Well, before I came out the womb, they were trying to think of what to name me, and they were watching reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Commander Worf had his son on the Enterprise running around, and he was yelling at him, Alexander. My parents were like, shit, we don't know anybody named Alex. That seems like a unique name. Call him Alexander. So I was named after a Star Trek character, fucking Worf's son. And when they started me up in school, there were 2 other Alexes in my class. Like, what the fuck? So yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, I was gonna say my daughters. Well, yep, my daughters. They're probably going to do the same thing you're doing because I've been grooming them to superheroes. So they had an ABC book that had each letter was a different superhero.
Nice.
So
nice.
Some songs she found on YouTube. The little nursery rhyme people, they taught them the different superheroes and stuff like that. So she know like the basic Justice League people.
Nice. It's a pantheon.
Yeah, the Avengers. She knows the Avengers. Only thing that confuses her right now is Spider-Man. Miles and Peter. That then Black Panther and Black and Gray Batman.
Oh, okay.
Cause they both got the same ear things and they same colors. Yeah.
That's awesome, though, man. That's cool. They're getting into it because they're only a couple years old at this point.
3 and 4.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, my uncle who got my dad into comics and everything, he had a daughter, and this was back when girls weren't in. You didn't have a girl into comic books, and he made sure she was into comics, man, and she was able to. I mean, she's a few years younger than me. She was over one time and they pulled out all my action figures that I had, and she was able to go through. This is when she was real young. She was able to go through and name all the characters, just like, like, yeah, sweet, man. She's actually getting it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, Disney has all those goddamn superhero cartoons. There's just so much all we had was
Yeah.
X-Men. You know, we had the animated series,
Yeah,
and then Batman.
for me, that's like the great app right now because we got the Disney Junior stuff for them. Then I got the superhero stuff. I get them, and I like Star Wars, so I'm trying to figure out how to get them into Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Give them time. I see. That's the weird thing about Star Wars is each generation likes it a little different. You know, so it's hard to tell what will appeal to them. You know, come their time around. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
All right, since you answered my nerd question, go to my next segment. The next segment is called the hotkeys.
Okay.
It's a double meaning term, you know. Hotkeys are buttons on a turntable for a DJ to press during a song. During the party time. So like, if it's like 12:45, you know, we might play a Young Jeezy song, you know, get the crowd going, or something might trigger. You might see a girl in a yellow dress or something, or somebody with blue suede shoes on, and you was like, and you got the song ready queued up for the blue suede shoes, and play it and like get everybody live. You know?
Shit. Okay.
And also in comic books, it's key issues. You know, first appearances. You know, origin stories when a new author, a new writer, or a new artist get on a project.
My dad's going through. He's collecting a few different series from like back in the Bronze and Silver ages, and he's just down to the keys. He's always looking for the keys at different conventions and shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, your segments got great names.
Thank you. I try, man. I try. So this is some questions that we talked about beforehand. That I formulated, and some I give it myself so people can take something away from the interview. So
fuck yeah.
With that first question, so do you think do you think any comics are more diverse than the mainstream comics right now, or you think it's just a trend that's going on through all comics about diversity?
I think it's a train. I don't really follow up with the mainstream lines. You know, you see the different. I got a few different pages on Instagram that I follow and that pop up in my feeds and all, and you see the different things that they're going on with the different storylines and the comics, and it seems like they're being diverse for diversity's sake. Like they're kind of forcing it, if that makes sense. No, and I totally think that it needs to happen, but like indie comics, they're kind of just doing their thing. And there's just a fuck ton of diversity all across the board. So I think everything's doing it. I just think indie comics is doing it a little more gracefully. And the mainstream ones are just like trying to fucking appease instead of like, I don't know, let it naturally form. But I think because they didn't fucking start it until recently, they gotta do it fast anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. Diversity is needed, and I don't know. What do you think?
Well, my only issue in diversity with is either gender swapping or like I guess sexuality swapping. You know, things that's kind of crazy.
It seems like they're coming on a little strong. Like
I read X-Men, like I read X-Men Religious, and like some issues it's like heavy. Like I was reading what's the group?
Maybe it's they're beating it on the head too much. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
This one series, great series, I can't think of it. But like one of the characters dated the Scarlet Witch's kid, the one that got the sorcery powers.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And they made like they was just kept hitting in the head, boom, boom, boom.
Like Kid Hulk and not Kid Hulk.
Hulkling. No, not that one. Okay. I said the wrong kid. The other one that's like Quicksilver, that's Flash.
Okay.
So I guess they both gay.
Oh shit! No way. Okay. Yeah.
But they kept like he wasn't even like part of the. He's not even a mutant. I don't think. So yeah, he's not even a mutant. So the kid was inviting him to Krakoa, and he just kept popping in because he's a speedster. So every now and then he'd get caught with the kid. I'm like, oh, okay. Then Drake and Wolverine's son, they like had him in a weird like love triangle with a guy and the chick. but they would never address it. They just like he was like his old lover or something. Like, I was like, what? Then North Star, is it North Star?
The twins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing going on too. I was like, man,
Well,
like,
I thought he'd been gay since the fucking 90s.
but yeah, that's all in the same series though.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So like it was like heavy. Like, man, that's crazy.
No, I mean,
I mean, it's not crazy, but it was just so like it was like a lot. It wasn't even like I can't even think of a character like Iceman.
Yeah.
Like that's like if you read the regular Iceman, I mean he's a Marauder, I think. Now the Marauder run is in there, but it's like okay, you know he dates Emma Frost's cousin or whatever, but it's so light. But that was like super heavy. I was like, man, why they keep throwing it at you so hard?
Yeah. It's. I guess in the indie comics, it's there, but it's a little. Well, some of them they go a little overboard, but for the most part, it's it's subtle. It's there. It is what it is. It's of the people, but the mainstream comics seem like they're doing it corporate style. It's hard to fucking explain. But my thing with as far as like the sexuality shit and everything. You ever see the movie Paul? Well, with Seth Rogen doing the voice of an alien. Great movie.
Oh,
Great
no.
movie.
I've never seen that.
Fucking the two guys from Shaun of the Dead. Anyway, Paul being an alien, one of the Roswell Greys, he says everybody's bi on my planet. It's all about the pleasure thing, and that's a pretty I'll let So it's 2023. I get people are gonna have weird love triangles and everything. We saw them in Twilight, but no. I just think that the mainstream comics are going about it a little wrong. But I don't know how to call it. I don't know what's wrong about it. It just seems like it's a little.
Then like the dialogue thing. People's like always get on the dialogue like with the Mouse Rider store thing, and okay.
Yeah. Well,
they did a I don't know what to call it. So it was a what if series. Okay. So it was like what if Miles Morales was Wolverine? What if he was Thor? What if he was I think Hulk?
Okay.
So like the Thor writing, they said that was very bad, and they said they was putting too much ebonics or whatever you call it, young people lingo in it.
Oh.
People had a problem with it. I personally didn't have a problem with it because if you read Thor or know how Thor's talk, you get what's going on. So
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that old Thor speak? He doing the ye old type stuff. Was it a purposely play on that to really play up the young people speak to make it kind of weird?
But it had the same talk, but so like how Thor goes like Odin's beard, right?
By Odin's beard.
Mouse says by Odin's fade. Yeah, like that. So like I get it, like like okay, yeah, he's black, but Thor always says Odin's beard because he has a beard. So if he's black, he would have a fade. It makes sense. Like, I get what the writer is doing.
Yeah, I guess.
Then
that's funny as shit though. That's hilarious.
I guess I don't know if it was Steel or Action Comics. It recently caught flag of how Steel was talking, and they said it sounded like it was like the undercover cop talking to like the young kids, and I didn't have a problem with it because my dialogue in my books the same way, and nobody complained about it in my books. So I'm like, why are they complaining about it in this book?
Yeah.
And I guess people was complaining because I guess 2 issues before that character didn't talk like that, but now the character's talking like that. So I think it's more or less like they want it like how they used to be. They don't want it to change up, like I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, is it a drastic change? Was it a like I get like.
Well, I never read Steel. Yeah. The only time I know about Steel's daughter is on Young Justice, the TV show.
Steel's the Superman with all metal with the big hammer and shit.
Yeah. Even I think she was in Teen Titans, And I don't remember her even talking that much in Teen Titans comic. Like I read that pretty good.
Okay.
Like she was part of Damian Wayne's
Run.
team.
Okay.
But I don't remember her talking that much. But like in the Superman or Action Comics book, there's a lot of dialogue from her. So I think either I'm not hip in how she used to speak, or people just not familiar with her talking that much, and that's how she really talked, because it was probably like one-liners and stuff like that. The books I read from her.
Oh, maybe the writers changed. Maybe they had a bunch of.
I mean, the writer for this book definitely a black guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe it was a bunch of white dudes writing it before, and then a guy came in and said, "Hold on, I can do it. This is how we're gonna fucking make them speak now. This is proper." That kind of.
Yes. See, that's the only issue I got with it. People, the dialogue thing, people complaining.
Yeah.
But like shows that, let's say, I don't know, Meteor Man, come out with a book right now, and he talked the same way, nobody was complaining.
Yeah.
But if I don't know,
someone who's been around for forever.
President Superman starts talking like that, they be like, no. I guess it's like okay if it's a new character, but not okay if it's a character like it's stuff like that,
No, but here's the thing: is like, well, I mean, I guess it depends on like where the character's from. But if you got like a black person from out in the country, they're not going to talk like the like the one way or whatever you want to say it. But it's so
that's one thing I think too. That's what I think too. I think it's a regional thing, because like I'm down in Georgia,
okay.
So like it don't sound that funny to me, but maybe up there where you're at, they don't talk like that. And that's why I think it's a gimmick thing, because they don't speak like that up there. But down here, it's common knowledge.
Yeah. Well, fucking Philly, you got people that just kind of talk a little slack jaw just in general. So it's different. But I mean, fucking, no matter what color your skin is, they all talk a little different. So if you wrote that down, no matter what the character looked like, people would be like, well, why are you writing it like that? It's like, that's just how a motherfucker speaks, from city versus fucking country versus north versus south,
Oh yeah, another thing they complained about was Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers crossover.
Yeah.
They black kids, so people got mad. They said, why would they be black if they talk like white people from California and they're supposed to be from New York? I was like, you know what? I never thought about that. They are from New York, so why they talk like they're from California?
Fuck, they say Cowabunga in New York. Damn, dude, I never even thought about that. Yep. Well, I mean, fuck.
They talk like surfers.
I don't know. When they made them black, they fucking seemed like I didn't question shit. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read the book, but I read around it. So basically, they did it to blend in, because I guess something happened when the Power Rangers, they turned to dinosaurs, so they had to blend in. So yeah, so I guess if you read the context of the story, it makes sense.
Listen, I'm just gonna say it right now. Michelangelo saying cowabunga all the time, definitely a white surfer dude from California. Fucking point. Raph and Donatello, they're black. Let's be honest. And Donatello might be half Asian. But then what you got left? You got Leonardo as the leader. But
as you saying that, they did it pretty good, voice acting wise, in the live action one. They had who voiced each character. Yeah.
They all see. I never seen a live action one. I fucking missed out on it. Is it who? I mean, I saw the trailers and all that, but
yeah. So I know the guy from Jackass was Leonardo, I believe. Let me see. Let me make sure.
Guy from Jackass.
Yeah. The main guy. They got Giant. Yeah, he was. Let me look.
Did you see that trailer for Mutant Mayhem drop today?
Yeah. Funny part, my artist did some concept art and logo for it.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, what movie is this? Is it a new movie?
Mutant Mayhem or what?
No, I'm looking at the cast, and it had a weird cast lineup for me, and I was like,
well, that new one's got I think Jackie Chan as Master Splinter. That is fucking awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, but yeah, he like like, so he was doing my book, and I had to find new artists because my artist like flaked out on me. And we getting ready to go. He said he got finished one more project, and he'd be on my project. Then Seth Rogen hits him up and commissions him.
No shit.
So he was like, hey man, I was like, I understand, man.
Yeah.
You got way more money
Yeah,
than money
There's
than I
a
do.
pecking order on that one. When you got fucking Seth Rogen knocking at your door, you answer that motherfucker. You answer that door with a joint in your hand and say, "Hello, sir. How can I help you?"
Yeah. I'm trying to see the character. Okay. So Johnny Knoxville was Leonardo.
Get the fuck out of here.
Jeremy Howard was Donatello. Alan Richardson, who was he? Oh, somebody from Smallville was Raphael. Noah Fisher was Michelangelo. And Tony Shalhoub was Splinter. And that's oh, you know him.
Tony Shalhoub?
He's
SH.
the monk.
Yeah. Tony Shalhoub. Yeah, dude, he's fucking man.
So that was the cast.
No shit. That's a.
And it had Megan Fox as April O'Neil, and it had the guy who plays Arrow as
Stephen Amell.
No, I don't know. Well, apparently he wasn't in this movie. I'm scrolling, but I guess in the second movie he popped up. But the guy who plays Arrow,
he was Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, he's a badass. Dude, Casey Jones is badass. Shit.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to another question. So why do you want spoofs to be taken more seriously?
So fucking all right. I was watching this movie, Your Highness, the other night, and it's Danny McBride, James.
That's a smoking movie, right?
Yeah, it's James Franco. It's medieval. It's like medieval fantasy. You know, you got the dwarves, you got dragons, all that shit. Old soothsayers and really cool Dungeons and Dragons and like fantasy concepts. And it was spoofing that, and it was making too many jokes within itself that kind of just takes you out of the experience. And if they kind of would have cleaned those up, it would have been a great fucking comedy. Would have hit. So it's when they joke too hard at themselves, and it's like, all right, why are you even doing this if you're just making fun of it the whole time? Like, at least.
So was it like Monty Clue? Not Monty Clue. Monty Python.
It was.
Or more like Airplane.
It was more like Airplane, but written by the guys that made Pineapple Express. You know, it was. But all those, like, so those old.
This is the end.
Yeah, this is the end. It was, it was between those two movies that they made this one, and like those old parody movies, I fucking grew up on them.
Scary movies and not another teen
movie.
movie.
Yeah, and like Hot Shots Part 2, and like they made the jokes in the movie, but and some of them did go a little overboard, but they kept it classy, and it was like, okay, this is a spoof. Some of the scary movies got a little ridiculous, you know. But
it's a reason behind that though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's a reason why it changed it up.
Oh, they changed the Waynes left, right?
Yeah, they kicked him out.
Oh, yeah, that was Well,
yeah, after 2, they kicked him out.
That's right. I just heard that recently, actually. But just the fucking, I don't know. Like, so ours is a spoof on Power Rangers. It's essentially Pothead Power Rangers, and I didn't want to just make the whole series doing those kind of jokes, ha 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 ha. We made original characters, we made original concepts. It's just on the surface when you look at it, it's a spoof of Power Rangers with weed. But then when you dig into it, no, it's this whole thing that takes itself seriously. It's this whole series. It's got a history to it. It's got a future planned. It's got all these characters with all these original things, and characters within it are fucking spoofs in themselves, like spoofs of things that we grew up with. Like, we have a version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we call the prepubescent black lung rats, and they're just these rats that got to take a hit off of a blunt roach that the one character Mary Jane tosses in one of her comics, and they became, like the Turtles became mutant. They became these big rap things, and the Chronic Rangers will run into them. But we don't go like, oh, these guys are very teenage mutant. We don't do that kind of shit. It's all serious. When they do the hey, we know it's a spoof. You should laugh at it. That's what pisses me off.
The look at the camera moment.
Exactly.
Right?
Like I'm totally like I love Deadpool. Grew up on Deadpool comics. That's one of my biggest collections. It's in my long box in my closet. But way before Ryan Reynolds ever took the fucking role on. But like he would break the third wall, and that was cool. That was him talking to the audience. But like it's when the spoofs go like, hey, you remember what we're? It's when they harken back to what they're spoofing on and go, hey, we're making fun of this. You should laugh with us. It's like, no, you should pay homage and make comedy with that, but don't fucking try to make us laugh because you're making fun of something that we love. I'm watching the spoof because I love the original. I want to laugh more. Like Space.
Now it's a spoof. Is that typically a comedy, or a spoof is just like?
Well, for the most part, spoofs are comedies. I'm failing to think of a example.
Well, see, okay, two spoofs that to go what you're trying to say. One spoof I know specifically is Blank Man. You ever seen Blank Man?
No.
Blank Man is a Damian Wayans movie where he plays a nerd that becomes a superhero. It's one of my favorite movies.
Check it out. Fuck yeah.
Actually, it's a character from In Living Color. He used to do a skit about. It's called Handyman. But censors won't let you be a special ed dude with power, so they call it Blank Man, and he's a nerd instead. But kind of the same character.
Gotcha.
But he just a nerd guy, smart, mafia type villain, reporter girlfriend,
yeah.
And he creates his own suit. So that's, to me, that's a superhero movie spoof. It is comedy, because it's Wayans Brothers, but it can be taken as a serious movie.
My example of that is Django Unchained, one of the best superhero movies ever.
See, so like, hey, that's a good one too. But before I talk about that one,
oh yeah, what was your other example? Yeah.
Burn Bright.
That's the Superman fucking horror one, right?
Yeah. So is that a spoof? Because
that would be.
It's making fun of the concept.
That would be a spoof. Yes, that is a great fucking example. That is.
It's definitely to the T. Then instead of him going with the flow, like, okay, y'all, my mom and daddy, he's like, y'all lied to me, just slaughtered the whole
just
town.
Goes ape shit. I stay far away from that movie because I would fucking see those glowing eyes in the fucking dark when I get up to take a piss in the middle of the night. Nah, fuck that. Nah. But no, I do know. Yeah, that is a great example of a spoof that isn't a comedy. Yes, I would say.
So, what you just say? Django
Unchained, dude. You got
Django. See that's I'm confused about that one because they said there is a spoof of something, but they're doing a sequel. If you didn't know or not, they're doing a sequel.
I know that shit.
But it's a Zorro and him teaming up.
Get the fuck out of here.
But see how goofy is that gonna be? Because he's basically a Lone Ranger. So like how goofy a spoof that's gonna be, because Django was kind of serious, but had the jokes into it. But then Zorro, depending like which one you watch, it's kind of serious.
They're gonna bring a serious Zorro up into the world. You had those whatever the fucking guy's name was, the fucking excellent man. What the fuck was his name? The guy who played Zorro, but God, he was also the dad in Spy Kids. He was fucking
Antonio Banderas.
Banderas, yes. But fucking Django, he starts out, he's your character that's down, that's been beaten by the system. Then he meets the older tutor, or whatever you want to call it, mentor, that shows him the ways of, here's how you fight back. Here's how you really fucking sock it to him. The dentist dude was fucking teaching him. And then you have your villain as fucking Leo, Mr. Candyman, or whatever the fuck his name was, with Candyland and everything. Like he was the big bad, villain of the story. And at that end fucking scene, when Django comes dressed in with the fucking blue suit and everything, He's all dapper looking like his mentor was, but in his own color scheme. And he comes to kick ass and kill the fucking villain. Did he kill him? I can't remember. I remember fucking.
Yeah, he killed that, basically everybody in the house.
Yeah. All right. He fucking burned that shit to the fucking ground. But no, so like that, seeing him at the end, like that's a superhero costume. He had his fucking mentor. He had the villain that he had to defeat. It was a great superhero movie. It was in that vein. But yeah, it's got a lot of other elements to it too. But I saw it like that. And there's another fucking movie that I used to always say was the same thing, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, just those. You have your character that's being bullied, fucking tortured, fucking whatever, and he has the older mentor that comes in. Kind of Batman Beyond. You got. Was it Batman Beyond? Yeah, Terrence, or whatever the fuck his name is. Terry. And old man Batman, that kind of shit.
So, I got two things for you. What was the first one I getting ready to say?
I talk a lot, I'm sorry.
I forgot the first one. Maybe you run it back to me. I don't know. But, okay, so, Power Rangers. You a Power Ranger fan?
Yes, so grew up with it. I mean, there's scrapbooks of me as a child with my red Power Ranger costume on during Halloween and my big red Power Ranger, always Mighty Morphin, kind of stuffed animal, whatever you want to call it. And always was a fan. And when we were in after high school, after college, towards the end of college, all my friends got back into Power Rangers for some reason.
College. You're a couple years younger than me. You're 4 years younger than me. Yeah. So, because that's when what happened? Either all the Red Rangers came back, or
the fucking Forever Red. That's old. That's older.
Okay.
So did that happen?
I was definitely out of school. I was not in school.
That might have been it. That might have made its rounds in the fucking group chat. And we
wait.
No, that's gotta be older because it was fucking.
That's older because Dino Thunder. I was still watching. I was in high school when Dino Thunder came. I was.
Yeah. Where did you graduate high school? What year did you graduate?
09.
Okay, I was a freshman in 09. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was a time because I got back in Power Rangers real.
It was like 2015-ish time for some fucking reason. 2016.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I think
the Megaforce thing when all the Power Rangers came back.
Yeah. They had a big thing in that. Yes. And they were able to change in the other motherfuckers and shit. Yeah. But it was also on Netflix, so we were able to go back and see some of these old episodes. We get all hyped up and watch fucking Power Rangers.
Then Boom Comics run,
Boom Comics fucking came out after we started doing Chronic Rangers, and I was like, this is great news for us because fucking they're giving it life to the comic, or to the comic world.
Yeah.
But no, I got this series somewhere up there that are it might be in a long box, but it's the 90s run of the Chronic Rangers put out by I forget the company, but it was Saban's Power Rangers through this one publisher, and they did 6 issues, and the first one I got's got Bulk and Skull dressing up as their own versions of Power Rangers, the mauve and the purple one, something like that.
The orange and purple outfit,
it was their original 90s version that was just kind of just put together, and they were super fans of the Power Rangers. It's a good issue. And Ernie from the fucking Juice Bar got turned into this giant fucking Minotaur villain that's stomping through the city. It is a weird issue. I think it's number 2 or number 1 of that run. But no, we just got really back into Power Rangers, and that's when we created the Super Stoner Chronic Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah. In my comic world, I got a Ranger team that I'm gonna put in there, but it's gonna be just like a running gag, almost they're there, but they're just
they don't do much. Is that
they do much, but it if you read I guess it's a spoof of the Boom Comics. If you read it, they talk about the original Power Ranger team that Zordon had.
Right.
sent to the moon when they got
Yeah,
slaughtered.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's basically that same thing. It just is ones that retired, then all the rest of them they all suck and die. So eventually the OG ones had to come back, be Rangers, but they like old. So
They're
like
fucking done.
they
They're
got
over it. They're done. Yeah.
yeah, so they come back with the old like SWAT team gear and stuff like that.
Okay.
Versus the ones that's newer, they got all the high tech stuff. Cause
Yeah.
each year they get better.
Yeah. New tech updates.
But they get slaughtered every time.
Oh,
yeah.
no shit. That's funny. That's cool, man. Nice.
Yeah. But I got Big and Power Rangers to the
Did you grow up with it?
Yeah, I grew up with it. I probably stopped watching it. The Disney run, maybe.
I stopped after Wild Force. Is that where they're fucking? Because when they did the Ninja Storm, I was kind of.
Yeah, I was getting out of it. Ninja Storm.
Yeah. Ninja Storm kind of put it to.
So all that samurai and
Yeah.
all that.
Because Ninja Storm, they had just 3. I was like, this is horse shit, man. And then later they brought in the dark blue and the maroon.
Yeah, the twins and the
I was gone by that point. Yeah, got into girls at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, before Jason David Frank died, I met him. He came to my city and
fuck yeah.
He actually got 3 comic books from me. He really enjoyed it.
That shit, that's awesome, man.
I really want to collab with him and whatnot. But he died before I can actually send the email off. Like I definitely was like it's ready to go. Like he posted me on his page and all that. It was
no shit.
Ready to go.
That's awesome. I met Walter Jones a few years ago at a Comic-Con. He came to our city, and my co-creator couldn't fucking make it. He didn't have enough money for a ticket, so we bought him one of the pop vinyls with the Black Ranger with the helmet off, so you can see Walter Jones' face, and had him sign it. It was really cool. We gave it to my buddy, and he just fucking balled up. But no, I would love to run into them now that I got Chronic Rangers kind of sufficient, and fucking try to pitch it to them. But I don't know if that would insult the original people if they're all cool with the weeds.
I mean, I don't know. I
know Jason David Frank wasn't. I don't think he was okay with the weed.
Yeah, he's all for the kids and whatever. But I met Austin and St. John a couple weeks ago.
No shit. At a con?
Yeah, the con. Reached out to him. He said he's so busy, so I probably have to go through his stuff again. He said he down for an interview, but he just so backed up. But
yeah.
It seemed like they done outcast him almost. But they
said that
like some Rangers are still cool with him, like Giant Young Bosch. I think the guy from Time Force stuff still cool with him.
Okay, yeah.
But I think the Yellow Rangers, they're not really too fond of him no more and stuff like that.
Did he get the Me Too stuff? I don't really know anything about that. Did he get called out for some stuff?
Fraud. He got caught for fraud.
Tax fraud?
No, I guess he was some kind of scamming situation going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think either got dropped or he got acquitted, but he didn't do no time for it. So.
All right, well, fuck.
And I'm pretty sure he don't got enough money to pay it off. So, he never went to jail for it. It was a thing that he said it wasn't him. It was like some of his accountants or people on his team that was doing it.
Okay.
What? Even like when I met him in the con, when I paid for the picture with him, it was through like a business thing he had going on. So I guess maybe
someone getting some shit off the top or something.
Yeah. So everything now was his name on everything. August St. John did August St. John. So I guess he probably had to revamp himself.
Yeah. Fucking A. Damn, man. That sucks.
Yeah. But talking about weed and how they feel about your series or whatever. But marijuana in media, it seems like it's cool till it's not cool. But like on the show, I had to say breaking it down. Like you the only person that get the reference to what I'm talking about, and I think this episode maybe 18, 19 for me, something like that. And you first person that get it. But even in my book, issue 3, I know I got a Firefire series as well. I know they definitely do it in there.
Yeah.
But Legacy to View, like they're definitely smoking weed. Like the dude actually calls the other guy, said, "Do you still serve people? Can you pull up on me?" And I never showed the transaction, but like next panel, they're sitting in the car hotbox.
Yeah.
So I never say like they're smoking weed or whatever. But like if you know, he pulled up and they hotbox in the car.
Yeah. So in ours, well, you see a guy in the first 3 pages blow smoke. He's holding a blunt and he blows smoke on a plant that grows weed instantly, and then he has a little baggie of weed. So you see that. Then halfway through the book, you see the one guy hand the bag. You see our main character Chooch hand the bag of weed to Mary Jane. He said, "Hey Mary, can you roll us a blunt?" An Emily Blunt, I think is what he calls it. And she goes, "Yeah," and she rolls up a blunt. And then we have a little advertisement, a little fake advertisement. And then the next scene, it's the area's full of smoke, and they're all sitting there just, just stoned out their minds. So we didn't show the physical act of them smoking. Original ideas with the comic, we were going to have them like take a hit, and then you see the smoke leave, and then you see it change color and do a weird thing, and that kind of like foreshadows some shit. But we just said, fuck it, let's just have them, roll up. Then it's them all stoned up, and then the villain shows up. Let's just get into it. And the cool thing is they're so stoned that as a reader, you don't know if they're actually in this combat and in these colorful uniforms or if it's just all in their head.
I think you said that in your Kickstarter too, right?
Yeah, it's walking a weird line. I mean, you got this guy in the beginning that's just growing weed instantly out of nowhere, and they're smoking this shit. So it's a weird kind of weed, but you don't know if they're just sitting there. By the end of the issue, you're going, fuck, did that just actually happen? Or did they just fucking imagine? It's one of them imagine it, and then here we are. That's kind of the vibe we're going with for the most part. But yeah, I'm hesitant to put like just people sitting around smoking. Like I like to just move the story along, unless they're sitting around and having a conversation. Because chilling on the green box, you have some crazy conversations while passing a fucking joint or blunt around or the bowl or whatever. Yeah. And so if there is a conversation to be had that helps further the story, I throw it in there. Otherwise, I'm trying to keep it minimal. I don't know who the fuck I'm trying to please with that, but
yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I was going to put your Kickstarter up so people can see it, but it's not really too much on there, I guess, because I wasn't the backer.
Well, it was. But it's finished. We finished back May 20th was the last day for it, but we were successful. It was we raised just $1 shy of $1,700. We had about 40. I think we had 47 backers, myself included. I wanted some of the good extra stuff. But it was a great experience. It was our first ever Kickstarter. Like I said, I was putting this shit out for free through the Instagram, and then the publisher, Broken Reality Comics, came to me and said, "Hey, we love your idea, but your art style isn't that good. What if we got you some good artists and redrew the comic and helped you with the Kickstarter and everything?" We said, "Sure, let's do it." And so they got us 2 kick-ass artists from Brazil, Val and B, and one does the pencils and the pens, and the other one does the coloring. And they're killing it right now. I've shared the cover on the Instagram, and I got 3 more pages colored today that they sent me, and it is looking excellent. But that being said, I'm still putting out my own stuff through my own style, doing mini issues called Tiny Tokes, and even smaller issues, just kind of promo pieces called One Hitters. And they're just a 1-page thing that has kind of a story set up and a villain introduced. So this first one that I'm going to release probably later tonight, I'm trying to do one a month. You get the 5 teenagers are smoking weed on the one side of this building, and around the corner, the paleontology club is doing a mock fossil dig, a moxel dig. And the weed smoke wafts around the corner, gets into these people's noses. They're like, "You smell that?" And then they are turned into these prehistoric, very much Power Ranger looking beasts. And they're called the extreme extinct paleo troopers. You know, and it's just a little, you know, we may never make an issue showing these, but it's a little, you know, just a little promo to kind of get people to see more of the characters, see more of the villains, see more of the team interacting, you know, and for me to kind of improve my skill. Like I said, challenge myself.
Yeah, I got a similar concept. They keep saying put it on webtoon. So I'm going to do like I don't know yet. I think it'll be a slice of life, but it's gonna be like characters that are taking place outside of what the View got going on.
The main line, but it's all world building.
Yeah. Like the villain, like the villain I introduced in issue 2, issue 3. He's the one who's smoking the car.
Okay.
He's gonna be like the main overarching villain, but right now he just a guy who got out of jail.
Okay.
So
okay.
So it'd be a while before he answers a real problem.
He builds up over time.
Yeah, so I can use him in those side stories to like make people care about
his character developing and all that. Yeah. That's what we're doing with these tiny tokes. Is these little separate one-off stories that don't have the 5 main characters, have just little side characters. Yeah, it's great. It's a great way to build the fucking thing. If you do it through webtoons, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I use him. Here's a guy. He's trying to do a idolatry project with like all his supporters, and we had all draw something. And so I was drawing his character smoking with the villains, and he originally saw the View and the View friends and thought they was lame, and then he went to the villain's house and said he was cool, and sat on like the couch and was smoking with them.
Nice.
So I can use them like that. Like, the View is lame. They did like some high school kids, but this guy right here, he got the good weed. You know, let me go with it. So I use them like, I use them like that. And like drawing that out. I probably stopped a page and a half in. Like, oh my god, I'm tired of doing this because like drawing it was cool. I'm drawing. Then going back to that line art, I was like, oh man, this is for the birds.
I do it in stages, man. I'll do the little thumbnails on paper, and then I take pictures of that and blow them up into my screen size. And then I sketch it with the pen. I'll do it all on the iPad. Sketch it with the pen, and then going back and doing those inks. Honestly, the inks are the easiest part for me because I do straight lines, and then I color everything in, and then I just do a lighter black to add shadow. So I do like a very Rick and Morty style where it's just like kind of a two-tone, maybe sometimes a highlight, but it's mostly just a main color and a shadow. And that seems to be a good process, good style. It all kind of jives together. But yeah, for me, it's doing the lines because like you could try redrawing them as many times as you want, but once you do those lines, they're fucking set. And you're gonna have to color that shit, and you're like, it looks so bad. Let me redo it.
Yeah.
But oh man, that's a good point. It's a great point.
Yeah. Last question on this segment. You spoke about Broken Realities. Apparently they signed a guy from my hometown there. What's the name of his book? I think Chaotic something. He's part of Broken Realities, but he's from the same hometown I am.
Chaos Theory? No, what the fuck?
Chaos, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the same city I'm from. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just about what you just said and what I noticed how he was working and now how they working with him. You already told me how they found you, but how does it work? Is it better for you being under that umbrella versus yourself? Because I know they revamped your artwork.
Yeah.
Other than that, did it help you anywhere else, and you find like, it's a benefit?
Yeah.
Now.
So it was so back. I don't know if you were floating around the Instagram pages back when the Indie Alliance popped off, but there's this thing called the Indie Alliance. It was like 50 accounts or more, all kind of trying to be just a place to where you can kind of communicate and share ideas and help each other out and say, hey, I'm trying to get this done. Can anybody help me out? Hey, yeah, we can offer some advice on this, that kind of thing. And then it kind of got weirdly political and people kind of like demonized it and shit, and it kind of just dissolved. Well, the guy who originally that I was talking to through this was Gruff. He is one of the main dudes of Broken Reality Comics, and we got to become friends through this alliance. Because he's been around the block, he's been doing a few things. His book, he's got a few different books, but like Legends is his main one, and he got to know Chronic Rangers, and he told me that he's not a fan of weed, but him and his buddy decided to sit down one time and read our issue 1. Just kind of scroll through the Instagram and read it and check it out, see what it's like. And he said it was awesome. He said he loved the concept, loved the idea. He said, yeah, he doesn't give a shit about weed, but everything else in it was great. Said the art style was lacking though, and he's like, maybe we could help each other, help you out and all. And I'm like, thanks, but no thanks, that's cool, whatever. This is before Broken Reality was really forged. It was the Expanse for a beginning bit, and that's when he first approached me. I'm like, nah, we don't really want to commit that hard. I'm kind of just doing it in my spare time. We kind of just flying by the seat of our own pants, I'm making it, I'm drawing it. I got my cousin helping me write the dialogue and everything, and we're just putting it out for free. Thanks, but no thanks. And he's like, a little bit later, he came back and said, hey, we got a website if you want to put your books up for sale. I said, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we could put digital PDFs up for sale of our main issue 1 and our two mini issues. And I was working on a second main issue at the time. And then he goes, hey, listen, I think you have a really great idea, and we have a more solidified group now. What would you say to, we go halves on this book, so they front up half the cost, we front up the other half of the cost, and we get some professional artists, and we'll help you guys get through the Kickstarter, get everything in place. We'll do all the ordering and figuring out stuff. They had done a few successful Kickstarters, and I talked to my guys, and my co-creator was like, this is, there's points where you got to take that next step. And maybe this is our turn to take that next step, really kind of push to that next level. So I talked to Gruff, and I said, hey man, let's actually do this thing. And we got this concept art. I posted it about over a year ago now, of the full team with all their uniforms on by these new artists, and it would just blew my fucking mind. I'll see if I can kind of it was this goddamn thing. But so they just looked so goddamn great, so colorful. I was like, all right, maybe we have something here. The Broken Realities people, they were like, this actually looks pretty good. Let's give it a shot. And so we got to work, and they've been a huge help the whole way. Like they said, they got the Kickstarter all up and running. I just kind of had to tell them what to name things and what to, here's some promotional shit and all that. And people liked it, man. It had a good response. You always wish you could do better, but it did really good. We did 300% of the goal, so that's really great for a first time comic kind of going out there. So they were a huge help, and they continue to be. We're fully under their publishing umbrella. They got some other great talent that are up in New York, down in Atlanta, and we're going to be doing some comic book shows. They're, with us getting our comics in, we're also going to get some of the other Broken Reality series in and try to shop them around our little corner of the world. But no, yeah, it's been that next step. It has been a huge growth for us as a team and just as creators. It's really kind of shooting us to that next plateau. So hopefully it keeps growing. Yeah.
All right. How many books y'all have planned so far?
Have planned?
Yeah.
Fuck. So we got season 1, which takes our Chronic Rangers from when they first smoke this weed in the cave and fight Park Narc the Archer, all the way to where they're having a standoff with this evil version of Rangers outside Homecoming. And right as they're about to just kind of fucking both teams destroy each other, main man, the Seymour, our mentor, our Master Splinter, our fucking Zordon, comes walking in and stops both and says, you bad guys, you go to your fucking master and you tell him we know he's around, we're coming for him. And he says to the kids, kids, get in my van. So our stoners get in his van, and they go, Seymour, what the fuck is going on? We thought we were just getting really high, and now we're fucking fighting people and shit. What the hell is going on? We got powers. And he goes, I'll explain everything in a minute. And then the van disappears. Van just... And they end up on Patera. So then you're jumped to Patera, which is season 2. Patera, we have stories planned as they try to find the Superstones, become the Super Stoner Chronic Rangers, and really come into their powers. We have that planned all the way up to where you defeat the bad that's mentioned in that beginning season 1, or at the end of season 1. And then kind of zoom out, there's an even bigger bad that's, you know, that dude's boss. And we have that planned up to a big Chronic Wars, where you have Recall, this just other dimensional demonic being who was a man at one point, but smoked a lot of weed and is now evil as fuck. And he has his army, and our guys, they end up forming an army with all the cohorts and different characters they meet throughout their journeys. And it's a big war. So, I mean, we got a fuck ton planned. We've been doing this for 6 years, and my favorite thing about comic books is character creation and story creation and kind of weaving it all together. So, you know, we got 1,000-foot view of 5 seasons. We got, you know, 500-foot view of at least seasons 1 and 2. And then season 1, which is when they're on Earth, we got that really fucking hashed out, and to the point where I'm making these mini issues to kind of fill in some other things, and these other just trying to really kind of beef it up. Originally, it was just going to be 8 issues of them on Earth, and then they knock over to Patera, and everything else is on there. But with the new artists and with time being what it is, we're just fucking having them rock on Earth for a little while until we get through the new artist drawing the main, now 6 books. They'll do 3 kind of individuals and then a 3 arcing, and then they'll be on Patera. And Patera is a magical world. Think about, you know, Earth 2,000 years in the future, where technology has kind of gotten to the point where it's more natural looking. It's more kind of involved. Magic exists, but it's mostly through technology. It's techno-organic, exactly it. But it's you know, some things have been forgotten because time has passed on and things are rediscovered. It's essentially back in the beginning of time, Chronic and Ganja created Patera. The gods Chronic and the gods Ganja created Patera and shaped the world into what they wanted and created mankind that grew up and all this. And Ganja ended up becoming evil, wanting to fucking police the people, and Chronic said, fuck you, I'm making the Rangers that will keep you at bay. And she made the 7 Chronic Rangers that were to stop the Ganja Sentinels. And that's kind of how that's how the Rangers started, and they changed and evolved throughout history. And fast forward, you know, 2,000 years, and boom, you got Seymour smoking up Chooch and the gang, and that's how they become the next Chronic Rangers. So it's a really winded fucking answer, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, it's not a dope concept, man. I like I said, I missed Kickstarter. You know, I seen it. I like going to Kickstarter. I seen it, and it intrigued me because you dropped it on 420 and whatnot. So it intrigued me. And I'm pretty sure I seen the promo art. I'm pretty sure I seen that.
I did like fucking really shop it around, trying to get it fucking seen by a lot of people. Didn't. Yeah, I worked a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I seen it. But yeah, man. Talking to you, whatever. You tell me how it is. Definitely. If they don't put it on their website, I'll probably check you out, hit you up. You probably see me a copy.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Well, so the plan is that the issue should be done by fall time. And then hopefully by like Christmas, we can get everybody their rewards and everything sent out. And then after that, I'll get some extra in-house issues. But then next 420, we're putting it up available for purchase on the website on broken-reality-comics.com. And then the following 420, 2025, we're putting the Kickstarter out for issue 2. So it's a bit of the ways away, and I'll be putting out a ton of content through my own art design and all between now and then. But yeah, it's planned to keep this train rolling, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I said that question, but is it a 24-page comic or what is it? Is it a floppy or a full volume?
It's a 24-page comic, this one. the remake. Like I said, the original through my art design is 42 pages, and if you wanted more and kind of lesser quality, you can go back and read that. But yeah, this one coming out is 24 pages, I believe 24, 26. I believe it's 24. I had to shorten down 42 fucking pages, so it was a lot of. But these people are fucking better artists than I. I had huge panels. They can draw fucking smaller, but yeah, so it's a normal size comic and hopefully be a good price. I believe the plan is to have physicals available for purchase through the website. They're currently working on getting all the titles physical versions. Right now it's just PDFs because printing costs a lot of money. But yeah.
Well, on to my last segment. I'm gonna hit you with one question. It's called digging in the crates.
Okay.
Also being the comics, you dig in the crates, you digging for them classic issues, the stuff that your dad put you on, you want to find them issues and whatnot. But also in music,
the guy go the
dig through the records or the CDs the same way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just dig through and find one question, to leave everybody else with something take from you, you know. So Jack Black, he comes flying in on Bowser's shell,
Okay.
with this magical bomb. He says one hit will take you here or there, and here or there is you get to play with one band in history, like one of their major shows, or you get to have a smoke out with a celebrity of your choice. So which one you'll pick?
Well, I tell you right now, if Jack Black shows up with the bong, I'm not smoking with him because he fucking gets paranoid as shit. I know that much. But if I was able to play with one band, it'd be fucking Tenacious D. I was raised on goddamn Tenacious D.
Okay.
Fucking Jack Black and goddamn School of Rock really got me into playing live music. That was when I was in like 4th fucking grade.
And I was going to ask you about School of Rock earlier in the show too.
I forgot about that shit, dude. That was what made me want to be a drummer. Was that fucking movie? Because that kid with the fucking spiked blonde hair, he looked so punk.
Mm-hmm.
The chick was playing bass, so I mean, cello, it's a bass. But no, I played an acoustic bass, and everybody back in high school said I looked like fucking Jack Black. So it's funny that you fucking asked that. So I don't know if I'd want to play with them. I saw them in concert last year, and they're fucking amazing. But I think I'd rather do a smoke sesh with a celebrity, and it'd probably be Seth Rogen's the easy answer, isn't it?
Seth Rogen's the easy. You can actually do that with him. You can actually do that with him right now. You can rent out his Airbnb and you have a smoke session with him. Well, the whole trip you smoke with him on his private station.
All right, well that actually might be worth fucking buying.
And it's cheap too. It's like $175 like once a night. It's like real cheap.
Shit. Again, Snoop would be a fucking easy answer. I think really I would love to have a fucking smoke session with Kevin Smith and be able to pick his brain.
Okay.
I grew up on the View Askew movies once I was old enough to watch them. You start out with Mallrats and then you move from there. But Kevin Smith, just as a comic book fucking guru and a goddamn pothead and a filmmaker. I used to fancy myself a bit of a filmmaker. Me and my friends would just make fucking stupid little videos. I was always the camera guy. I would love to fucking smoke with him. So, yeah, if Jack Black showed up with a bong, say, smoke this bong, you get to go fucking smoke with Kevin Smith. Done. Done deal.
You taking a whole toke of that?
For fucking sure, yeah. I'm ripping a long rip, dude. Just fucking. But I cough like a bitch, so I'd look like a motherfucker in front of these guys.
Yeah, so you can't do Snoop Dogg then because you can't cough around him.
No. He would have 5 guys remove me instantly, dude. Fuck yeah. I almost got beat up the first time I got high because I was coughing and spitting. I was like, I did not know proper etiquette. It was fucking horrible.
See, I don't smoking. I don't smoke anymore. Just money wise, it just makes sense to me. Then in my head, I said once I get enough money on my bank account, I'll probably go back smoking.
Yeah, well, you got two kids too. You got to.
Yeah. Well, my girl, she smokes. So I mean, she smokes. Yeah, but
moms deserve to smoke. I'm gonna say it right now. Moms.
Yeah. I was doing what really got me stop smoking. I was doing a gravity bomb.
Oh.
And I got so high that I threw up. I was like, oh my god, like. So like that made me like I've never been this high before. That I threw up. Like,
oh man, yeah. We got my fucking buddy back in the day. We threw some keef in a bowl without telling him. that little powder stuff that gets at the bottom of your eye.
Yeah.
He fucking got so high he threw up. He's like, "This isn't funny, guys." I'm like, it's kind of funny. You can't fucking.
Yeah, my cousins they lace their blunts with dab.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, that'll put you under. That'll put a hurting on your boo boo for sure.
Yeah. But hey man, it's been great, man. Great show on the Green Box with you, man. Sorry to view. He never can, I don't know. I guess he got with Scooby in the game or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
hey, when Scooby say yes.
If people want to follow you and get your books when they do come out, or get your stuff the content you putting out, where can they follow you and find you at?
All of our stuff is on Instagram at chronic Rangers, chronic_Rangers. Hold on. Chronic_Rangers. Jesus. I don't really talk about it that much like that. At chronic_Rangers. We're also on broken-reality-comics.com. That's where you can buy the stuff. But if you're stoned up and you just want to read, you can go through Instagram. You can scroll back through chronic_Rangers and find the issues I put out for free and kind of just read them page. I got it page by page posted, and then if you scroll over, it zooms in on each panel so you can see the panels better and read the words. But I figured that was the best way I could put it out for free. So anybody wants to see that, like I said, I'm going to be posting monthly one-hitters. These one-page mini comics. And every 6 months, we'll be putting out the mini issues, which are about 15 pages of the Tiny Tokes. And one was released with this Kickstarter. That was Tiny Tokes number 3. That is our Solar Phoenix Chronic Ranger versus Big Buck the Cunt Hunter.
Okay.
He is a redneck, fucking just foul-mouthed motherfucker that is pissed off at our Solar Phoenix Chronic Ranger because he delivered the wrong pizza. When you're stoned, you do the wrong thing, and so this guy has to answer for it and avoid some shots. But so every 6 months we'll have a new mini issue out that people can read. Next one focuses on the number 2 of the group, Mary Jane. She's awesome, and that will be the blunt that she tossed, the blunt roach that she tosses that creates the prepubescent lung rats. So we got this world building. Follow along to watch it build with us, and hopefully people enjoy it. And fucking comment on shit. Let us know what you actually think. Say, man, this is fucked up. You shouldn't do this shit. Or, hey, this is awesome. Keep it up. We love to hear it. We love to hear it.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
And have a great weekend, man.
The View, he's still sleeping. I don't know what he got into with the Super Chronic Rangers and whatnot, and some Scooby in the game. I don't know what's going on, but he's still asleep. But the creator of them saying Super Chronic Rangers, Chip, he's dope dude, man. Great person, man. Great interview. And support him, man. His first issue comes out in the fall, but he has a little mini series he does on his Instagram. So y'all check that out too. But it has side characters and some backstories in his own universe. So be sure to follow that and support him. And if you want to read any of the View's books, go to legacyview.com, or you can follow him at legacyview on all social media. And if you want to follow me at Specks706. And if you want to be a part of the show, hit us up at chillonthegreenbox@gmail.com, or just hit us on social media. And I got for y'all, we're out.